friends all know that I'm cool. I've been this way since high school. Cause life's never been sweeter when you're just a cake eater. When it comes to hockey, nobody can stop me. My high school team, I was playing on the top 3.
Welcome to Youth Hockey Hub High School Hockey Podcast, brought to you by Mayo Clinic Sports Medicine. I am Danny Ryan, joined with me in studio by two people today.
Whoa.
Carl, you're here?
Yes, I'm here, and everyone can hear what I'm saying.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm here too, Tony Scott.
Hey, Tony, how's it going?
The voice of the East Elk River game yesterday.
Hey, I was the color.
And you were the color.
There we go. We'll talk about that game later.
Yes, we will.
Yes, we Carl, you were over in the corner guy.
His squad, we've been not buying into his fake, he and Coach Randolph's. I now am buying into that. Duluth East is not that good.
Finally, I've been telling you this all year. Not a top 10 team.
Oh, wow.
Got it.
I'm not
You're
acknowledging
still not
this.
buying it.
I'm still not buying it. I still think that
I'm a sucker. I
I
don't like East as much as I thought, and they just don't perform well. I mean, other than that one game, they have one shining moment.
One shining moment.
They are the one shining moment. And when they go to state, throw eggs at me at Amsoil. I'll be there. Bring your eggs. Bring your tomatoes.
I'll be 3AA that night, so don't worry.
Oh, you're going to stay down, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
so
St. Thomas is.
Huh?
I got
Reunion tour.
I got to cheer on the cadets to go to state. I mean,
Right.
come on.
I'll be there.
You got to enjoy the loss to Burnsville.
Oh God. Okay, so let's go on that topic because we're going to talk about. Let's go. Who's the Anoka this year, you guys? Who's the team that
The 3-4 seed kind of team?
That's
surprises.
that's not going to make it. That we're just like, how did Anoka get here?
I got one. That's going to be, how did Wyzetta get here?
Yep.
Well, they have the talent, they got the coaching, they got everything there.
I think they're just about to turn the corner. I saw them hit rock bottom on Saturday.
A couple Saturdays ago.
No, it was just last Saturday.
Yeah.
When I say Saturday,
Yeah.
Saturday, 8-2, Eden Prairie. It could have been 20-2. I mean, it was ugly. But I've heard through the grapevine that Coach O'Leary broke a chalkboard or two.
Not surprised.
And has finally lowered the boom on the squad, and I think the squad has definitely responded and played 2 or 3 really
they
good
played
games. Tough
okay
games
on
this
Friday
week.
when I saw them play. They didn't play that
They
bad.
played Wyzetta hockey.
Yeah.
That's what they need to do. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
As my friend says, they played Lynx basketball.
Oh my God. I'm not.
He uses Lynx basketball for everything if it's revolved around winning. It's hilarious. Like, where'd that come from?
Okay.
They do actually win things.
Carl, who's your
my
team?
They have a really tough section, so it's hard to make the case. But I do like the way Prior Lake is playing right now. They're really trending up. They've beat Burnsville the other day, who has also been very hot. Gave East a pretty good game last week, so they're hanging in there against some good teams, and I could see them pulling something in sections.
And Prior Lake's been like the whipping boy in the arena lobbies. I mean, if they don't do it because they have such good success at the youth level and haven't performed at the high school level, like, why aren't they any good? I'm like, they don't have Scott Reedy on that team, and that's why a lot of those youth teams were so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll have a cop out here for both my Class 2A and Class A. Whoever comes out of 8AA. The circus that's going on up there, I really have no idea.
We called that in our preseason.
Yeah,
show
we
that
did.
there
Right.
could be 16.
Wide
Remember,
open.
I think I like St. Cloud. I'm not as bullish on St.
Cloud, but I think you could see a St. Cloud, and then I'll say the same about 3A. I have no idea what's going to come out of that, but it's going to be somebody that's going to lose to Hermantown by 7.
Yeah, that's true.
7 might be generous.
True.
But,
That's true. That's true.
I mean, Laverne's the top team, but we know the history with Laverne in the past few years.
Laverne
so.
has never been able to pull through.
If you want to watch Twitter on Wednesday night during that section final,
It's a fun one.
It's a fun one.
Fun one. I'll have a guy on that game. Last year he's listening to Litchfield and
Laverne.
Laverne. And I kept checking my
Yeah, it's
Twitter
like,
feed.
We were
Another goal,
watching
another
it
goal,
at
another
Mariucci.
Oh my
goal. Yep.
God, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy to watch all of that. We might have 2 guys on that night because there's just so many games to keep up with on Twitter. My 8A, we covered a game last night up in Breezy Point. We saw the truth come out on Northern Lakes last night. They had won 16 in a row. How can a coach find 16 opponents to beat? That's a hard one.
That are worse
to
than
find.
Northern Lakes.
Yeah, they're worse than Northern Lakes. So they lose 6-1 to Lake of the Woods. Then I start doing my research on Lake of the Woods. I'm like, they only lost to East Grant 2-1. They're not going to in the section meeting get a 2 or 3 seed above Crookston or Thief River. They could be a 4 seed. You never know. And
what's their enrollment?
The enrollment is 109.
And they don't co-op. We looked this up.
They don't co-op. That's a third of the size of Roseau. Think about that.
That's 11 less kids or 12 less kids than I graduated with from St. Thomas Academy.
It's remarkable. So if they make it to state, could you imagine what KSTC 45 is going to do with an enrollment of 100?
Oh, my God.
It's going to blow up. They would blow up.
The whole school's going to be there, and it's going to feel like 2 rows.
Yes. They won't even need a band section.
That is the band.
Kazoo. That's the band. That'll be hilarious.
Okay, Carl, who you got?
My Class A team is, again, like Prior Lake, it's a team that has a really tough section, but Minneapolis has been playing pretty well. And
Agreed.
Beat Orono, looking good.
Yeah.
Have a very good player, Jake Hale.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that's the best section in 2A.
Yeah, well, they're trending up. They're trending up. If we want to look at sections that are trending up right now, 2A is trending up hard.
Is that your section?
That's my. I think they're trending up right now.
My section that's trending up, and we've talked about them already on the show, is 2AA. That one is. I mean, everybody's good in that section.
Yeah.
I mean, look, even Chaska.
Yeah.
Chaska just beat Benilde yesterday.
Yep.
They were. Thought it was a couple years out. They're trending up.
They are actually pretty good.
I mean, there are lots of teams in 2AA. That's going to maybe be a fun section where the first round games could be fun to watch.
That might be where you go to for the quarterfinal.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So that's mine. How about yours, Carl? Let me guess.
How about 7AA?
7AA.
Well, we got to give the North a little love.
Yeah, I mean,
you know.
Grand Rapids is on a roll right now. Haven't played the toughest schedule lately, but they're winning a lot of games. East was on a roll until they lost to another section team, Elk River, who really made a big statement in the section. Looked like a top 5 team yesterday.
I think so, too. I really do. All right, who's trending down? This is a fun one. Okay, this is where you really take some jabs. And I'm going 4AA. I mean, remember
you guys,
like 3 weeks ago, Hill
and
Murray?
I sold all that, and I said, don't buy, and you guys were like, what's your problem?
White Bear Lake, not
not that good anymore.
They're going down. Stillwater loses, despite it is with 2 seconds left.
Yeah.
They're going down.
Yeah.
Hill Murray.
Wheels on the bus have fallen off.
For sure. So I think that's the section that's going down.
That's
How
the
about
obvious
you?
one. Well, 8A.
Yes.
We could say some things about a certain team in 8A, but we'll shy away from that.
But they still will be the 2 seed despite 2 losses this week.
Yep. And otherwise, you look at this section. I'm not sure they've ever lost a first round game at state. Ever.
No.
Yeah.
Not that I remember 8A. No.
I'm trying to just run through in my head.
There was one year where Thief River was not seeded, but they still upset.
But they were the 5 seed, and Breck was the 4.
There was another year where they were
unseeded. Yeah, I think I remember that too.
But even so, I mean,
I was at that Thief River Breck game.
I watched it on my computer, and I work with one of my coworkers was on the captain of the Breck team.
Breck was dominating for 2 periods, and all of a sudden, just Thief River just rolled them in the 3rd period.
Yeah. I'll say 3AA. I mean, there's not much there after St. Thomas, and Burnsville losing to Prior Lake last night really solidifies St. Thomas as being just, if they lose in this section, which they could lose.
They could.
It's just, I don't see much there. Those semis are going to be poor to watch.
Yep.
You'll be there, though.
I likely will be there. Yes, I will likely be there. They got to get that far first. So I don't think I've ever cheering against Jefferson in a certain situation, but in that one, because I want to be at the
Big and Braemar.
I want to be at Big or Braemar, where I want to see the semifinals there. But I don't think Holy Family Eden Prairie happens this year in the semis. I think that's going to be down at Murray.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot to miss. I don't think. Not as much to miss as there was last year.
Yeah.
Holy Family Talk will be fun, but not
nearly as fun as the other ones.
It'll be good. All right, so we're done with that section. Let's go over what happened last week.
Yeah, let's do some games. First one that I want to talk about is St. Thomas Academy versus Cretan 6-1. I was at this game.
I watched it.
Well, thank you. You listened to me do some color commentary.
It was great.
But I think the storyline in this game was Mac Leeson. He was all over the ice. He's Cretan's top player, and he's a freshman. The kid's very, very good.
Yeah, he's a Wiz Wyatt winner as a peewee. He would have been an obvious finalist had he stayed and played Bantams. He didn't need to play Bantams. You saw why he's not playing Bantam hockey this year.
Yeah, and clearly the best player. St. Thomas had Cretan's number. They were trying to make Magnuson move side to side, and then he did, and that's how St. Thomas scored. And the game was loud at the beginning, military night and everything, but then, once St. Thomas started to roll in the second period, the game was over.
Yeah.
So, next game that happened that night, Lakeville North 3 to Stillwater 2.
Yeah, that was a good game.
2.5 seconds.
2.5 seconds left, and Lakeville North sneaks this one in with a goal by Brock Drager. This was probably the start of the so-so week for Stillwater. What do you guys look at this game? These are Lakeville North's kind of on the rise right now.
Big time.
Yeah.
Even though they lost to Holy Family 3-0, that's still it's a respectable loss the way Holy Family's playing. But, Stillwater, after Hockey Day, their stock has dropped.
Yes, the whole section's stock has dropped, I think.
Yes. Any other takeaways, you guys, from this one? This one's kind of...
Just look at the Stillwater team and you say, they beat Elk River, but that's their only quality win. That's the only thing they have close to a quality win.
Right, and that Elk River team did not have Jax Murray on it.
Right.
Yeah, and it was
when you look at a rankings perspective, they're barely a 5.
And
barely.
I have them at 7.
Yeah, I would take 7, but that's as high as you could ever go.
Yeah, but they have enough talent to be number 1 in the state.
Correct.
Think still, but they're not playing that way, and their strength of schedule does
the
not.
Schedule makes it hard for them to get back up there.
Yeah, it doesn't behoove that. They have a good game at the end of the season against Holy Family, but I don't know.
The biggest game of the year.
Yeah,
Remaining
they
game
need that
we
one.
have left.
If they want to be seated at state, they probably need to win that game.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the only other game that's really, really big is the Minnetonka Eden Prairie game.
The next Minnetonka Eden Prairie.
Yeah, I think because that has. If Eden Prairie somehow loses that game,
I think they're still 1-1 even if they lose.
Yeah, even
Still
if they
are.
lose, I just think the way they're playing and the schedule. Okay, one of our pick'ems last week that Tony picked incorrectly. Breck beats Montmedy 7-1, and that's pretty much all I really want to cover with this game. I just want to state that Tony got that wrong.
Moving on.
Thank you. I went 1-3. I took my Vegas money and tried to go huge. Put all on the red dot. Whatever. What is the? What's the hardest thing to win in the roulette game?
Green, isn't it?
Green. I put it all in green or whatever it is. I lost. Thanks, Montmedy.
We tried to gooch Eden Prairie, but they pulled out a 4-1 win over Minnetonka on Thursday. This was a fun first period if you like watching Casey Middlestead. He was just all over the ice, just did his Casey thing, and it was a lot of fun to watch. And so they looked like the top team in the state during that period. Tonka kind of evened it out in the second, and they score late in the second, but then Eden Prairie scored right back on top of them and killed momentum going in for the third for Tonka. And it's just, I really see Eden Prairie as the number 1 team in the state right now. Yeah.
Next game.
Next game is, clicked out of it. Next game is Holy Family 3, Lakeville North 0. This is the Holy Families on fire right now. They are playing very good hockey. Thank you.
Emoji or just regular on fire?
3 fire emojis at least.
There's 3 fire emojis for each goal that they scored. But, they're playing very good hockey right now, and they're buzzing through good teams. And so
I still think if they make it to state, they're the number 1 seed.
Yeah, whoever comes out at 2AA right now is the number 1 team.
No doubt about it.
Except if it's Tonka or Prior Lake.
No,
Prior Lake's
one of those two.
Yes, shut up.
Prior Lake is going according to
Yeah, according to Carl, that's the
according to
Anoka.
the Anoka theory.
The Anoka theory. But again, this wasn't a surprise to me looking at the score. I think when I was even writing in with Carl, I said, who won, how big did Holy Family win that game? Because I was expecting them to win that game. So
Right.
Okay, game on Friday night. Grand Rapids 1, Wayzata 0. I
Did you bring a blanket to that game?
Yeah.
No, it was actually kind of
time.
warm,
Really?
except for the third period.
No, I'm talking because it was kind of a snoozer.
Oh
Yeah,
God, that
nap
game was
time.
boring. And then the shots were just really counted weird too, because I'm looking over and like, how does Rapids only have 12 shots in the
The
second
old
period?
home shot clock.
A home shot clock guy was
God, the
going.
home shot clock guy yesterday at the East Elk River game was ridiculous.
Yeah, that was really home.
52-4.
I think you forgot to press the wrong button here. But really, this game was boring.
That's a joke, by the way. It wasn't 52, but it
No.
was a little imbalanced. And the game was imbalanced, but it
Yes.
wasn't
I don't think it was
that
terrible,
imbalanced.
Yeah, so
And East did a lot of possession with
okay,
Stream, but we'll get there later.
yes, it's the next game, you guys. This game was really felt like the Wayzata Grand Rapids game from 2 years ago, where Mitch Matson scored with 2 seconds left.
yeah.
And so it really felt like that. And the Olympic ice did not behoove well for Grand Rapids. They should be happy they don't play Amsoil on Olympic ice late in the season. And Wayzata played good, and Reed Wasenko stood on his head, but I just don't see the firepower to score in O'Leary's system. You just don't have that going on right now. I don't know. That's my takeaway on Wayzata. They're playing better than they were, but where's the scoring going to come from?
They got a tie with Hill Murray.
Yes,
Yep.
2-2. And they barely lost to Edina.
One goal
Rapids
game to
overtime.
Edina.
It's 3-1, but there's an empty
Technically.
netter.
So
It's there.
It's
It's
there.
there. It is
It's
there.
there. So don't be surprised if you see them, but also
It is
be
there.
surprised because it's like, where have they been all season?
what would be really fun is if it was Edina and Wayzata in the semis. That would be
That-
awesome. 'Cause
and it-
that's
and it
not
would-
what Edina wants.
Yeah.
And it would be at
not
Big.
What Edina wants.
It would be at
Yeah,
Big,
I know.
which is a great venue for a packed game.
It's going to be packed.
And-
I don't think it's going to happen. I think somehow Wayzata is going to.
Yeah, I would put them at 3 right now. I mean, but honestly, no one has any excuses
No, out
if
of
they
those-
get shafted in the seating here.
Yeah,
Because
I could see St. Louis Park still
right,
making
yeah.
their
If
way
they
to
beat
the top
Benilde,
four.
they're at least 4. Yeah. And
Yeah.
if they beat Benilde, they're at least 4, and they
Correct.
played Benilde last
Correct.
week of the season.
Yeah.
A lot of good hockey.
A lot of good hockey left.
Got a lot of meat still on the bone.
Okay, a game that got moved that I was going to go see yesterday, but it got moved to 3 o'clock. Eden Prairie beats Edina 4-3. They need a goal in the third period by Jared Blakoyak to beat Edina. This looks to be one of the better games of the season for both of them. The shots were 40-36 in favor of Edina.
No hockey hub coverage.
No hockey hub coverage.
No youth hockey hub coverage.
No, barely any Twitter coverage.
Barely any. I mean, literally,
They were
this
struggling to
is,
find
this
the
was a
score.
game.
Yeah.
This is a game that was basically played in a vacuum. And what I mean, I don't mean that in a bad way or good way. I'm just saying it was probably a really good hockey game. I was following this Paul Nitz guy who
Yeah.
tweets. I'm like, thank you for giving me updates because
Yeah.
Eric Zimmerman who tweets for us. Was at the White Bear Lake Rapids game and found out in sheer horror that the Edina game had been moved. I had like 4 people texting me like, the game's been moved. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's being played now. So it's too bad because that's a really good hockey game that kind of basically fell under the radar. Probably
Yeah.
the second best game of the day.
Yeah, probably it was. But again, Eden Prairie rolls in this game. They're kind of rolling through their Lake Conference right now. Give it to Edina. They're still hanging in there, and I think this Edina team is not a team that you want to see in state. So
No, I think they're second, depending on, I don't know, Carl, I think they're second or third best team in the
Yeah,
state.
I had
right
them at
now.
3.
Yeah.
I think it right behind Holy Family.
Family.
Yeah,
It's finally happened. Eden Prairie, Holy Family, 1 and 2.
Okay.
Everybody's been waiting for. So.
Okay, and then Grand Rapids beats White Bear Lake 4-2. I believe with an empty net goal by Gavin Hain. Expected more out of Grand Rapids in this game, but after seeing them on Friday, just not being all together, I'm not really surprised.
Well, they play a full ice. They play on a bandy sheet on Friday
yeah,
night.
Yep.
yeah,
Game gets over at 10 o'clock, and they got to turn around and play at 3 o'clock over at White Bear against a defensive-minded team. I think you just want to get out of town,
and they did.
Props to Grand Rapids. I've been a little bit harder on them. I didn't think they were a top 10 team. They did win the Lake Conference. 5-0.
No, against-
No, they beat Hopkins.
Oh, they beat Hopkins. They can do the 5.
Yeah, they got the 5. So Holy Family was touting that they went 4-0 against the Lake Conference. Well, guess what?
Rapids win 5.
Rapids went 5-0.
Gotta play Hopkins.
Yeah, that's actually kind of impressive too.
Yes, it is. Yes,
For a
it is.
7AA team, that's a big thing.
East did that a couple years ago too, but anyway.
What?
Wow. Wait, did you just talk about East?
Wow. Weird. Shocker. Okay, well let's talk about East and
Let's talk about East. That's a good segue.
Yeah, let's talk about
What did
East.
do yesterday?
I didn't really see them for a couple periods.
They were the ghosts, not
they
the
were at
hounds.
the arena. What?
Yeah. So Duluth East loses 4-1 against Elk River. I think the storyline in this game really comes down to in the second period. In my belief, Elk River scores a goal, gets called off. It gets called a goal, called off in a split second.
Did you go to Elk River High School?
No.
Okay. Did you go to Duluth East?
No.
Okay. So you saw it as going in the net.
I did.
I saw it going in the net.
Yeah.
The referee at a moment in time saw it go in the net.
Okay.
And in turn, it goes back the other way. He waves it off. He waved it in and then waved it off. It was the weirdest thing ever. Keep going.
And then the puck, and the Elk River players,
Celebrate.
Three forwards celebrate, and then East doesn't hear a whistle, and so they take the puck and go on a 2-on-1 the other way and score. And instead of the Elk goal getting counted, now they're down a goal because they count the East goal. And this all happened because of a weird Meyerhoff tripping penalty. So that was a shorthanded
Phantom.
Shorthanded goal.
The worst part was Simon tripped somebody, an East player, and you thought Simon was going away. I'm like, what a weak call that was. And all of a sudden, Simon starts slapping his stick on the ice. He's like, I'm like, why is he so happy? He's like, well, it's because he didn't get called for tripping because he got tripped by Meyerhoff. It was kind of like a domino play. Stupid play. It shouldn't have been a penalty on any of the players.
No, it was really weird. And even Randolph didn't like the penalty. But so what happened then is, let's see, 40 or 26 seconds later, then Elk River, we just felt Elk River gain momentum, and then boom, 26 seconds later, they scored. And then it was just like, it really felt then, even though it was a 1-1 game, it just felt like they were already up and they were controlling zone play. Their top line was just controlling play, and then they score late in the third, which second, which they needed to.
Because I thought that you said, I thought if they kept it 1-1, I thought Duluth East could have come out and won that game.
Yes. Yeah.
Once they scored that second goal, it was over.
Yeah, it was game over, and. I mean, Carl, Duluth East's top line just did not show up.
No, yeah, they've been kind of Jekyll and Hyde this year. I mean, they have some games where they just dominate everyone, and other games where they just sort of aren't there. And the thing that was really happening in this one, they weren't winning draws. They were never getting the puck, and this line isn't a great line when they're running around in their own zone.
What did we comment during the game about the icings? They must have had
20?
15 to 20 icings.
Which
when you got the puck in your zone all the time.
Yeah.
It really starts to wear on you. I'm not saying that was the reason, but it just doesn't seem they're a puck possession team that's not just throwing it away all the time.
And East just never got to its game, never set up its forecheck in this game.
Rare times where it was in the zone and they were setting up a too high or one high or something that you never saw it.
Well, here's the thing that matters is with icings, and I was saying this when I was doing the color, is when you ice the puck, it causes a change. And when you do that, then you have to line match, and then your lines are going to get mixed matched, and you're not going to get your lines aren't going to play as long, and the third line's not going to be out there, and then he's got to run Jopie's line out there against the top line, which caused a goal. And even though Jopie, Fitzgerald, and
that was their best line.
Yeah, that was their best line yesterday. The Ricky Lyle's line didn't really go out there that much. It was a chess match. It was a chess match that really didn't happen, and it was probably due to the fact that there was a lot of icing.
So, Carl, what's your takeaway as the biggest Duluth East apologist? let's make a case for
No, that's Lee. That's Lee. That's not Carl.
Let's hear what
Tony this year. He thinks they're a top 10 team.
I know. Apparently, yeah. So, but let's hear what, not necessarily you, but what are people driving back up 35 saying to themselves about Duluth East? How can they, other than the fact that they have the best coach in the history of high school hockey? What are they saying? What's the Duluth East angle?
Response? Well, a couple ways you can look at this. Well, one good thing yesterday, Meyerhoff played very well.
Yes.
They've got a very strong goalie who's going to give him a chance in sections. They've, the top line can play better. You could possibly blame the Olympic ice if we're giving Rapids excuses for the Olympic ice.
It didn't hurt Elk River, let me say
They
that.
play on that every game.
Well, we've also seen them play Centennial.
And they hated it. They hate
Yeah.
Olympic ice.
Yeah.
They want to get a new building as a result of it.
Yeah, and so with East, they're still not totally healthy, so still waiting for Logan Anderson to get back. The pieces aren't quite there, but
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you can, and this game was close enough for long enough that you could. We said you could see this going the other way, and late in the second period. So there's still a chance for East, certainly.
Okay. All right. So we're done with the
We are
last
done.
week.
That was a fun game, though. If
good.
you're an Elk River fan and you weren't at this game, you should be mad because you got to see them play probably their best game of the season.
It was good.
I have to give Elk River's coaching staff some credit too, because they've done a really good job making this team disciplined, steady. They didn't take a single penalty.
Yeah.
No.
They've come a long way from where they were the past couple of years.
And it's funny. I was talking to Ben Gustafson before the Stillwater game, and I asked him. He said something to me. He goes, our goal is to be 4 minutes or less in the box for every game. That's a pretty good goal.
Did you talk
shoot
to him
for.
before the game this game?
Oh gosh, here we go. No, yes, I did talk to him, but not in the fashion.
Did
that
you
I would
address the
prefer.
team?
No, I did not. That's a funny story. I went to go talk. I talked to both coaches before the game, and what did I do? I walked right into the Elk River locker room during Coach Gustafson's Vince Lombardi speech. It was really, oops, sorry.
Wearing a blue coat.
Oh boy, wearing my bright blue coat. That's great. All right, so moving on, right? We're out of last week. Quick review on the pick'ems. I went 1-3. The Earth is back on its axis. Danny went 3-1.
It is back on its axis.
Yeah, right. Carl, what'd you do?
I went 2-2.
2-2.
So,
All right. So this week we'll do some pick'ems at the end of the session. Now we will move into a real fun session.
Yes.
This is our all-state team, non-seniors. So underclass all-state team.
And this was hard for us. Okay, this took a little bit of time. So.
Yeah. We should record the show before the show. I think that would get even higher.
It's far more entertaining.
Yeah, far more entertaining. So let's roll through it. Carl, you want to go first?
Sure.
Well, let's start with forwards, and then we'll go around the room on forwards.
Okay.
And we tried to pick different people, too, so we're not all just saying, Gavin Hain.
Right.
So
right.
My three forwards, we mentioned Matt Gleason earlier in this show from Cretin-Durham Hall. Has been off to a fantastic start.
It was just a pure jitterbug up there. He's so good.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with Bobby Brink from Minnetonka, who's really been
You're
picking it up.
freshman lover.
I do, yeah.
Love it. I love
Going
it.
young here. And I'm going to go with Jack Jensen, too, so a sophomore, but a player playing with Casey Middlestat, and that top line is really starting to get some chemistry going now.
Well, and he got a hat
So
trick.
those are your three best forwards in the state
I mean,
that are underclassmen.
Okay,
maybe
we all
the three with best
amazing.
potential.
Okay, we all look at those all-state teams, and we know that there's a couple players that could be missing. So
Okay.
I'll pick up where Carl left off.
All right.
Then on the players that I feel are missing from that list,
Okay.
Gavin Hain.
I got him.
I
He's on
love
my list too. We
I
agree
love
on that.
Gavin Hain. I just think all around a good player, just fun to watch. Sammy Walker for Edina.
I like that one,
of the
too.
fastest players in the state. I mean, when he came up as a freshman, he probably wasn't 130 pounds sopping wet, but he has grown out, and he's probably like 6'2" now, and he's a fun, smooth skating player.
Somehow still a junior.
Yeah.
He's got a great compete level too. He's got a Matthew Gleason like.
Oh yeah, he doesn't like to lose. You put him with Shear, and they're very, very competitive kids.
I love that line. They just take Shearer and Walker and put whoever else on that line.
Yeah, it doesn't really make a difference.
Go.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good. It's really good.
And then Jake Hale is my other
that one.
forward. I saw Jake play against Blake this year. Definitely, he was just like a game changer. He's a sophomore too, right? I think he's a junior. Sophomore, yeah. But he was the stereotypical. If you watch a D1 player and you know what a D1 player looks like, that's what Jake looks like. You can just tell that kid's a D1 player just by the way he moves out there.
Great compete level. He attends Minneapolis Southwest High School for you guys. Just making sure you know that.
I didn't
Tony
even know
Southwest.
that was still a school.
Tony
I thought that-
Southwest. Tony Southwest loves Jake Hale. I like that pick. Mine are, I'm going to go up north to Section 7AA to one town, tiny little Grand Rapids. Blake McLaughlin. I think if Casey Middlestat weren't playing, I think he's the second best forward in the state. He makes the most happen on almost every shift. On
He's
the ice.
c- he's-
super.
He's my Hank Sorensen Award winner this year.
Yes, yes, that's a great name
Yes.
for it. Yes,
Yes.
he
This
stirs
should be a
up
consistent
trouble.
thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's really dynamic skater.
And he's
hockey
not
player.
quiet when he's out on the ice
He's
either.
very dynamic. Yes, he's good. So he's out there. Gavin Haynes just is like his polar opposite. He's his yin and yang. I mean, he's hard work, straight at you.
We'll pass the
business.
puck whenever necessary,
Yeah.
and it knows how to find space. It's
Great
just,
hockey players. And then here's my guy, Lucas McGregor. I've seen him Centennial 3 times this year. Each time when he goes, they go.
Yeah.
You know, he's the guy that when he can make it happen, that's when Centennial's at their best, is when he plays. If they get hot, I think they're a team that scares you. I think they're a 5 seed in the state tournament if they were to make it to state.
And we had this argument.
We argued on air
and
yesterday.
Carl and I agree that they are not a 5 seed, that they are going to be unranked.
Unseeded? Okay.
If all the number one
They still
seeds
got to
went
make
out.
it, though. They still
I
gotta
know,
make it.
I know.
That's not no gimme, that's for sure.
Well, who are your defensemen, Tony?
My defenseman, I'm going to go Ethan Frisch from Moorhead. I think he's probably the best defenseman in the state right now, and he's still got 2 more years of high school. We're very blessed to watch him the next 2 years on top of this one. And then I'm going to go Grant Anderson. He's just way more physically mature than Ethan Frisch is at this point. But he's the one of the kid. I think he's the next best, without a doubt.
He was injured, or is injured right now, I'm pretty sure.
We played 8 days ago in that game against.
Yeah, he didn't play
Eden
against
Prairie.
the Rapids, I don't believe.
Okay. I think he's a fantastic talent. Unbelievable talent. All right. Carl
I'm
D.
going to go with the super creative pick of Ben Brinkman for one of my D.
Yeah, but he's good. I mean, Brinkman is one of the only defensemen that you'll see actually playing the Phil Esposito role on the power play.
Yes.
I mean, he's very strong on his skates and knows how to use his stick in the slot like that.
Yep. Good hockey player.
So another player who people may not have seen as much of, even though he's a Gopher recruit, is Mike Kester down in Chaska.
Yes.
Nominally young player. So
He's a great player. Great. Smooth skater. Great hands. I like that pick.
I'll stick with the fire for both of mine. I'm gonna go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Danny loves Holy Family. Yeah.
He loves Holy Family.
Good fire picks. Brady Zemer. Not only does he have great hair, he also
Best hair in the state.
I think his little brother's got better hair than he does.
really.
And he's a really good hockey player, too.
But Zemer's all over the ice. He's a energy kid for them.
Great shooter.
Great shooter, smart on the power play if he's out there. And then Peter Tabor has a great shot from the point. I've seen him score at least 3 goals, I think, this season just from the point. He knows how to find the top of the corner when he's up there, and he skates well. I think Edina would love to have him this year if he was still skating for them.
I think Waterloo would like to have him, too. He played all fall with Waterloo, and they were basically begging him, like, hey, come on, stay here and play. And
He's good enough to do it.
yeah, he's no doubt. He's USHL ready. We hope he stays next year. It'd be great to have him in high school hockey.
Yeah.
I like that pick.
Goaltenders.
I'm going to start off. I'm going to go Ethan Heider, from freshman goaltender from Maple Grove. Their biggest wins have come with him in the net.
Yeah.
So I think you got to give him credit. I think he will be their goalie down the stretch.
Yeah, I don't see why not. Sure. Ride the hot hand.
Another freshman. He's got Bantam eligibility too.
Piling up the freshmen here.
So some freshmen don't. No, they don't.
Sammy Walker was one of them.
Sammy Walker didn't have eligibility. Clay Hannes didn't have Bantam eligibility. It was a June birthday, so some
It's
of them
common.
don't.
It's common.
Yeah.
Who do you got, Carl?
Mine's Jared Moe. So no great shock here, but did a dominant
you just
goaltender
went
this
on the
season.
midterm scouting list for that one.
Oh yeah.
But he is a very good goaltender, and
he's-
clearly the top in the state. There's a reason why Stauber left, because Mo was going to ride that one pretty much the whole way.
Correct.
And then I'll go a homer pick here and say Atticus Kelly. But really, Kelly is a key cog to St. Thomas. If he's playing on, then the defenseman can jump up on the play a little bit more with Stucker playing up, and so you can get more loose when you have a better goaltender in net, and that's what Atticus Kelly is.
I like that pick.
No luck for Rapids. Huh?
I think
It's hard if you pick Stayskull. I couldn't take Stayskull or Holm because I had already taken Hain and McLaughlin. I couldn't have 3 of my.
I don't think the Greyhound to my left would take him either.
I know. So they, Zach and Gabe kind of got the raw end of the deal on that.
But they're very good
goals.
players, and
Absolutely.
and I the thing I like about Stay School is he's like 6'3", but he's so aggressive. He's like he just goes all the way out, and it's just he's
he
fun
used
to
be a
watch.
skater, so
Yeah.
he wasn't
Got that
originally a goalie.
Yeah.
He started playing goalie when he was a peewee, so he's used to playing a full sheet ice.
Yeah, and he's very confident when he's out there too.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's go for some games that will happen next week. First one, Centennial has White Bear Lake visit them on Tuesday. Should be a decent game. See Centennial probably coming out of this game, but it should be like 5-3. I want to say
White Bear plays defensively, so I'm going to go 3-1.
3-1. This is a good.
3-1. I think it's a 2-goal type Centennial win.
Okay.
I think Centennial kind of struggled last week. They had 3 2-goal wins against weaker teams in Northwest Suburban. So, well, say White Bear for fun.
All right, you're
Why
going to
not?
say White Bear?
They-
All right.
they-
This is
they
not
pull-
a-
they
this
pull
is
one
This is
out
not a
every now
pick.
and then,
Not a
but yeah.
pick 'em. But the thing with Centennial is they got to play 3-period hockey right now, and this is a good team to try to do that against because they're gonna, they have a good goaltender in Bob Perrotino.
Yeah.
Next game, Wright County Conference. Delano goes over to Victoria Ice Arena to play Holy Family. This is not a pick 'em for
I'm going
us.
to predict that it's not. The score won't be 10-1.
Yeah, I
That's the
don't.
only prediction I'm going to make. But I would guess that I would lean towards Holy Family. They're arguably the 1A for the top team in the state right now.
Yeah, I think the thing with Delano is they're not going to beat any team by shutting them out. They're only going to beat teams by, scoring more, and it's going to be hard to score against a good goaltender and good defense.
Right.
And so you might see them get on the board, but it's not going to be anything special. Eden Prairie plays Blaine on
I'll be
Tuesday.
broadcasting that, baby.
Blaine had a decent week, right, Carl?
Yeah, they had some good stuff
I
happening.
know they beat Hill Murray, too.
Murray.
They
Yeah,
beat Hail Murray
and
last
they,
night.
and they gave Elk River a good run too. They were
Yeah,
up
they're
ahead.
2-0.
Yeah, they're ahead 2-1. Yeah, so I think if Blaine's going to have to make a statement soon, because right now we look at 5AA as just being Centennial, they have to make a statement of saying we're a team to mess with.
Yeah, now there's a couple horses. Maple Grove and Blaine
Yeah.
are definitely coming up the backstretch.
Yeah, and I like Centennial too much to pick against them right now.
And they did
Right.
beat Maple Grove 5-0 last week.
Right.
Yeah. So, okay. Thursday, I'm looking at the schedule and it looks kind of dead.
Wow.
I've wrote it down. I
like
It's
that.
in writing. And Friday,
So it has to be true.
it has
And
to
now
be
it's
true.
on the internet. So
It-
I'm sure it's true.
And I'm making a Wikipedia page for it and citing it as a source. And Friday, I see the same way. Though, I'll probably go to games both nights. I just don't know where I will be yet on those. Tony will probably be at Bloomington Ice Garden if you want to find
Likely.
Tony.
Likely. I don't know what's going
Duluth
on
East
this
Bloomington
weekend.
Jefferson is the party like it's 1995.
That's
Oh, jeez.
that's Thursday, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm. That's in a
I'll be
hat
there.
to get picked out. St. Thomas plays Matamidi, which I don't think is going to be as competitive as the last time. But these aren't games really worth attending if you're a hardcore hockey fan. Let's just put it that way. And then Friday, I didn't see anything. Saturday, St. Thomas Academy plays Hill Murray, which should be a good game for the former Classic Suburban Conference.
Whatever it's called now.
You really need this. St. Thomas Academy needs to win this game to establish direction going into the playoffs.
They just need a good win.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a
They haven't
quality
had one in a
win.
while. Right.
Not that Hill right now is a quality win.
I think it is. I still think it is. It's two teams that are looking for their own identity.
Yeah. And I think St. Thomas is playing good hockey. It's just, they have to play good hockey against the good teams, and this is one of those that they have to do that against.
Right. And then you got one more?
Did you not put Holy Family Prior Lake? I'm trying to read your pick'em, so that's why.
Right.
I'm trying to figure out which one. So Holy Family goes down to Prior Lake or over, I guess.
We down, I think.
I think down.
Downish.
Downish. But this is a section game. They're both in 2AA. Prior Lake coming off of a win against Burnsville. They're one of these teams that I don't know what to say about them, other than they need to score. win a couple games.
I agree. I don't see anyone beating Holy Family the rest of the year.
I don't. Even Stillwater, I don't see it happening.
Nope.
I don't either.
Not right now.
And that's why that one is not a pick-em. Tony, what are our pick-ems?
Oh, we got a fun pick-em this week. Due to much lobbying, I finally won this one in an arm wrestling contest. We got Minnehaha
Against 2 quiz bowlers, mind you.
Yes.
Good for you.
Yeah, good for you.
Just left Danny crying in the corner.
I got Minnehaha and Rochester Lourdes on the pick'ems this week, and it's a legitimate game. We got 2 teams in Class A that are trying to make a statement. Minnehaha's had a good season, and Lourdes is trending upwards. Right?
Maybe the best team in 1A.
It could be. I don't.
Yeah, they're not going to be top seed, but
I have Northfield number 1, but Lourdes with a good win over Minnehaha, they can make a case that they're the number 1 seed. So I'm going this one. You've seen Minnehaha play
recently.
I've seen them play
On Wednesday.
What are your thoughts on this game,
dark.
Minnehaha Lourdes?
I think it's going to come down to goaltending. Max Evenson is a very good goaltender. Or Justin Evenson. I was thinking Max
Everson.
Justin Evenson is a good goaltender. He's a large kid for Minnehaha, and he kept them in the St. Paul Academy game. I think if he wasn't playing in net, St. Paul Academy just would have rolled in that game on Wednesday. Yep. But I think it comes down to him and then the Evenson forward, which I'm now blanking on his name. But he played well. It's probably their best forward that I saw on Wednesday night. So I see the Red Hawks coming out in this
Red
game.
Hawks, huh? I didn't think about it. You're like,
Red Hawks?
That mascot.
Yeah, they are Red Hawks.
And I'm pretty sure this is played at Minnehaha.
5:15.
Yeah.
That wonderful drink.
I don't think that Lords will know how to tie their skates because they won't be able to feel their hands
Well,
in
their
that
hands
ring.
will be numb, but they'll get them tied. I'm going to go with Lourdes on this one.
Okay.
I'm going Southern Mini.
Okay.
All my good friends down in Rochester run a tournament with the Rochester Hockey Association. Coach Spaniel's going to have the team ready. Flip a coin on this one. I'm going Lourdes.
I will say Minnehaha for no apparent reason.
That's because it's that joke when we were kids, I can make you laugh. Just say Minnehaha.
Good one.
Yes.
All right, we're going a intra-city game. Next one up, Lakeville North, Lakeville South.
This game's on Tuesday.
Correct.
So if you're going to park at this game, plan on parking at the high school because it's at Lakeville North.
Oh, it's at Lakeville North. Just, park at the high school.
Walk down the hill.
It's a bad time of year because it's that ice on the
hill
thing. There's gonna be someone.
Yeah.
I guarantee. I can't pick the winner of this game, but I guarantee someone falls by going down that hill.
And the band will be there, I'm sure.
Oh god,
the band will be there.
So I'll probably be at this game. I'm gonna pick Lakeville South to come back. I think they held Holy Family to a pretty good game. Yep. I think goaltending's gonna. This was a good game the first time. It was an overtime game. So I want to see the firepower of Lakeville South, and I think I'm gonna see it in this game.
I don't
firepower.
I think this is one of those 3-goal type games. I think Lakeville North's playing as well as any team in the state right now.
And they're going to win by 3?
They lost to Burnsville 5-2 a week ago.
Who lost to Prior Lake.
They beat Stillwater. Here we go. Anomalies. You're throwing your anomalies at me.
Stillwater, who lost to...
Here we go.
Yeah.
On and on. So where are you going there?
It's tough. I think both teams are. I think South is starting to trend up a little bit, but I think I'm still going to stick with North, at least in the regular season game. Right, Sections, I might go a different way, though.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
We'll watch the last few weeks.
We'll see what happens.
Sticks get tighter in section games than phases goaltending and defense.
The other goofy part is
exactly.
It's kind of weird. Talk about goochers. I think if you beat a team twice, it's hard to, the old dreaded beat them 3 times. So it's like North would serve themselves better by losing.
And Farmington did beat Lakeville North 3 times last year, which is, it's rare to beat a team 3 times. And so,
And all 3 of them considered upsets.
Yeah.
So here's a game, 2 teams not in the top 10, another non-top 10er, but I think it's one of those teams, kind of 2 teams looking for their identity type games. Duluth East, after losing to Elk River, right, needs to get back on the horse. They're going to play Jefferson and Maple Grove.
And Cloquet on Monday.
And Cloquet. So a tough week for the Hounds. Maple Grove, who's been up and then down.
Up and then down.
They've been the roller coaster
Chutes and ladders.
Yeah, so you never know which team is going to arrive from Maple Grove. So Maple Grove, Duluth East. Who do you guys got?
I'll go first. You're looking at Carl, but I'll
I'm
go.
looking at Carl. Like, come on, take Duluth East.
I'm gonna take Duluth East.
You love East. Still. Did you watch the game with blinders on yesterday?
I think you two like East more than I do. But okay.
But here's why I like East is, Gregory's going to be on the ice, and this is a home game, and they play better in front of a home crowd, and
senior night for East's one senior.
yeah. So I'm gonna
Reed Hill, Meyerhoff's
senior, and there are a couple fourth line, third line type guys who are.
But I think their talent level is better right now than Maple Grove, and I see that happening.
All right, and what are you doing?
I'm gonna be
because I've already made my pick's already inked in here. I'm not crossing it off. So
be real creative here and pick Duluth East.
You're going East, okay?
Wow!
Shock you all
Glad
with
to
that
have
one.
you in studio to do that.
Yeah,
I'm going
amazing.
Maple Grove. I disagree with you. I think they have more talent, far more talent than Duluth East. Maybe I missed part of the game yesterday where the talented players were skating, but I didn't see that.
That was the fourth period.
The talent for Duluth East that I was hoping to see it on the second and third lines and on their blue line.
Yeah, but I think East is a team that is Jekyll and Hyde. I think we saw East play a very good first period where I thought they were going to carry that over.
What first period did you see that I didn't see?
Well, I thought they played their system like for the first half of that first period before they started icing the puck. I thought they were playing pretty well, and then it slowly slipped away, and that's kind of what we saw in the Centennial game. And I'm just, when they're on, they're on. When they're off, the lights are off.
You say they're Jekyll and Hyde. So Jekyll is which one's the good one? What's the bad one? Jekyll's good, right?
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
So Mr. Hyde's bad, right?
Mr. Hyde's bad.
I've seen more Hyde and less Jekyll out of Duluth East.
I guess a lot of
you have seen the bad ones.
Yeah.
You saw Centennial, you saw Elk River, some of their worst efforts of the year.
But I also saw Lakeville North where they looked really, really good. Okay. Even though they lost that game, they looked good the whole game.
All right.
Good against Rapids, good against Eden Prairie.
Great against Minnetonka.
Great. All right,
fine
last
effort.
game of the Pick'ems. This is a fun one. There'll be some good debate and a lot of orange and black in the arena. Grand Rapids and Moorhead.
At IRA.
At IRA. Should be a good game. Good rivalry there. Any thoughts? Any picks?
You want to
go first?
You pick first on this one, Tony.
It's hard to choose against Rapids in IRA. It's just such a home ice advantage. So I'm going GR on that one.
You want to make me pick Moorhead, or I'm going to pick Rapids?
I'll be the one who picks Moorhead.
Okay.
So because someone has to pick
Carl
Moorhead.
picks Moorhead. And Danny, I'm guessing you're going Grand Rapids.
I might actually drive up for this game. It's on Saturday morning.
Fun game. Bring orange and black. You'll fit right in.
Or camo.
Or wear your YHH blue jacket and stand out. That was me yesterday, and you, Danny. We were wearing our blue jackets, bunch of black and red. There's me again.
Walking through the locker room.
Apparently, the Elk River fans, as I was walking out, weren't too pleased that I picked against them.
Yeah, they were giving you crap.
Yeah,
I got 3 or 4 different people. That's what you get for picking against the Elks. And I'm like, I didn't remember. I'm sorry. It was like 6 days ago. Yeah. Sorry.
We often have to review the
we take these things very seriously, as you can tell.
Yeah, I get into the office today and I'm flipping through. I'm like, who did I pick? I'm like, 1 and 3. Dang it.
But no, I think that game's going to be a good game. St. Thomas Hill on Saturday should be fun. There's a good group of games, no matter where you are in the states, Metro or up in Duluth or up in the Range. You're going to see some good games on Saturday.
Great games. Well, that's it for today's show, right?
I don't got anything else.
We're 11 minutes under the last couple of weeks. Maybe we should bring Carl in more often. He's short.
Jeez.
Keeps the show
so
short.
More efficient.
Well, good to have you guys here, especially Carl
Great
in studio. Here, Danny, good participation on YHH this last week. 2 color commentaries.
You get a participation award.
Yeah. Yes, you do. You get an award for that. So for Carl and Danny, and a huge shout out to Mayo Sports Medicine for sponsoring today's show. Have a nice week.
Last night my kid tore up his league. He had a hat trick right up his sleeve. Coach said he's never seen that. Gemini Athletics gonna have to stitch the C patch. I've got Ferraris, Maseratis, drive all over the place. I drink martinis, never seen these looks all over their face.